Rendani Nemakhavhani used to actually be my intern.
If she has something in her mind, she can and will do it.
I can't do a graphic design. I don't go to
She's a freehand illustrator, which is actually something, it's a rare skill. I suppose that's a big advantage for her.
Rendani Nemakhavhani. I am 24 years old and the graphic designer illustrator.
Rendani chaluwa achangwana. Awa ishtakalo tamba na bamwe bana.
Ashifunesa uchina ngamanda. Ashichaiba ngamanda ana bamwe bana.
Ashifuna ba mutanga phanda ndichima chote ndena na aba phanda khosumbeza bamwe banori uchikotamba ufunda itwa mina.
I'm creative ngamanda as a child, and I was always the weird child, always doing my own thing.
Nezompa problem dara. Ndasazvitanganidzi. Ndishira hai mwananga ndishikorukana una zvimwe oitwa uzvoni.
Ndandisafani nabangwe, like ndandisafuni kereke, ndandisafuni dziroko, ndandisafuni zvitu zvavasidzana, you know. I always wanted to go in the opposite direction and do my own thing.
Na izvo zvori muzana walugisa mabudzi. Akara ndani zvazvisiwa osagamiwo mabudzi.
Are different since I've known her. She always stood out. The way she drew, the way she spoke with people.
So what I ended up doing is just investing in my creativeness. So when I was in high school, when we were picking up our subjects, like the first thing that I picked was the art class, you know. I wasn't the greatest drawer, but I knew that I wanted to be in a creative field.
I can't do a graphic design. I don't go to Mohanedza. Gauri Ovaka grade 11. Over no trauma with a Bodo la design. Rowana Jote or Queen Atevere. Zona Joja Nangazon.
To draw inspiration from Joburg. Every day after school,
Nani Rendani, we've been friends for maybe 2 years. And then from there, Rakalo Sebeza with each other.
Landing New Town, you know, I own a market, and in the market there were like really, really nice things, and they were so cheap, and that's why I was always in town, just coming to town to buy cheap. And then, you know, that was always the question, what are you doing in town? Why are you always in town? I could never really answer it because I feel like just walk around the place, see what it's like. That wouldn't work out very well for me. You know, I'd be banned from coming to town. So my inspiration basically, Ivaka, it's the experience in Zanga, Droboni, in taxis, with people, at markets, just walking around the CBD, you know. I find it very, very, very fascinating. And also, it's not as bad as what people make Joburg to be. And I guess that's where the whole idea or the baby of Joburgmyhomeburg and 30 Days in the City comes from. Because that I do is inspired by the city and what the city looks like. And yeah, basically.
Mutu wa thomota kala vita zvodrowa ndi akono dinangelo ri ene anyago ya chikoloni aite zwithu zwa formal unyagori ave mu design.
So I started looking at schools, like colleges, like private colleges, you know. And I went back to my mom and I was like, Mom, I want to study at these private colleges, but like the fees were too expensive. So my mom was like, you're going to need to make another plan. Go and study where it's cheaper or choose something that we can afford at home, you know. Nandina Mngana, Sandile, he was at UJ at Creative Fine Art. Yena nganifuna compiling my portfolio. Next thing, I get a call from UJ saying, hey, Rendani, you've made it into the program. I was so excited. And then I got into it and we started doing it.
You can put her in a room right now and she'll stand out, not because of her outfit, just because of her personality. And you just see it in her artwork.
Ndumda chimwe chifhinga o ita zvimwe zvachikoloni ndari hezi ndidzihengara na arasidzihengara atalushedza ndari mara zvikosedza yanga ari ndidzihengara ari mabonewo kuzvivana ngamato yanga uri avazvipfesesi zva graphic design zvichimbira hani tafandomangara.
In 2011, Bandish created a third year. So for the final project, you could do whatever you wanted to do. So Nangor and Dishumisa the taxi, Danishko traveler from Nachurena to UJ every day. Ndotomo notice a certain lifestyle that happens. Ngangoma takes. So then I put Yanga, Danishko Gels Nepe. So I'd upload it onto Twitter, Facebook, hashtag Joburgmyhomeburg. And then Chomzanga said, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, why don't you take more pictures? You know, we like how you're taking pictures of the city and stuff. And then for that final project, I decided, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to concentrate on Joburg and street art in Joburg.
Like ukorila because she's her own person now. Anga into drawing let by John South Dona Ashkolweni, so endla suswayena, endlela yena.
What Joburgmyhomeburg does is it explores people of the city, how people interact with the city, how people behave in the city, and just the general happenings of Joburg city.
The type of things that guys say to girls, kostrating how fit are like, well, hello, nice. And she's like, hello, nice, futek. And it's like that kind of stuff is so funny.
And then when I was done with school, I started posting those pictures on the blog, and then people were like liking these things a lot. And then Ditchko visit out na zichomi. Like Nandishko tanga nabatu bachko, hey, you're that Joburgmyhomeburg girl. I really like what you're doing, and it's cool. It makes me want to be in the city. It makes me want to interact with the city because you make it look like a space that is not difficult or bad to be in, you know? From that kind of feedback that I was getting, I was like, okay, this is something that could actually turn into a much bigger thing. And then Joburgmyhomeburg gave birth to another project that falls under it called 30 Days in a City.
So now as a journalist, you can do like a few short diary entries about Khudula and working in Joburg.
30 Days in the City, ndo itoma last year, 2014. This Koshuma Gauteng tourism.
Rendani Nemakhavhani, he used to actually be my intern. About 2 years ago, I regularly got the interns for design. I love someone and creativity, originality, and a bit of flair. And specifically, she draw attention in I could create something from scratch, from the fonts that design as an illustrator. That actually captivated us much more. Under me as a designer, DTP specifically, which is desktop publishing.
As a young black female creative in general, the challenge nduri batubanje abaregisteras, you know, as in doing what we do. As much as it can be discouraging, it pushes me to show you that I am actually better than what you assume what I am and what you're saying right now. So I guess the biggest challenge right now is being rejected a lot and also not being taken seriously, but that's up to me to change. The gist of what a graphic designer is that you are a visual communicator. Né? most things that you see around you. It's graphic design. It's a billboard, newspaper ads, magazines, you know, things like that. And as an illustrator, I create beautiful things so that they can be used on more than one platform. We're found in advertising, in marketing.
Rendani is an illustrator in a design field where you have graphic designers, specifically you have illustrators, and she's a freehand illustrator, which is actually something, it's a rare skill. Designer I only based at the graphics that in like a computer. Rendani mostly draw a work. So the pen and a paper, that's actually her specialization.
So basically what happens is that I make dots, and the dots is what creates the shading. And I need to use different pens because they all have different size ends.
That kind of an illustrator, it's kind of rare in a new age where everything's automated. You find it at the computer, the softwares, you find our illustrator. So she is in a better position because she can transcend between the two.
I think that she's shown by curating big shows, by being part of Design Indaba, by illustrating book covers. If she has something in her mind, she can and will do it. Like, she's very perseverant. She'll do it all. Like, she's doing big things.
I myself can't draw, but I can use a computer to draw. So I suppose that's a big advantage for her.
Ndichipedza ndiyazviscanner and then zvichenda computer and then zvichiisa Photoshop and then I start applying color to it. So una a background color, two background colors on this one. This also needs me to pay a lot of attention to detail because there are some things that you only see at the end. So there are lines here that I don't want to be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint over them in the same color as the background. We use the Adobe Suite. So now I'm fluent in Illustrator, InDesign, and Photoshop. So those are the three things that I use the most to create the things that I'm creating.
I'm very privileged to mentor because she's talented as she is already. She's creative as she is already. She's done really, really amazing work the time that she was here, even on a personal project.
Illustrations are actually like they just happen to have text on them because that's the idea at the time. And madzina abonwanga nga mumwe mutu and then hoyo mutu udoibidza nga helo dzina. Like I have a poster called No Sugar for Mageza. So whenever people are talking about that poster or they want that poster, they're going to say ndikombrela poster ya No Sugar for Mageza, and then I know which one you're talking about, you know.
I want to have one of her artworks there to know that, okay, this is someone I grew up with, this is someone I went to school with. So to have it right now would be best to not look on Nimela until about more than she is right now, because Lokum Kamenswana, she's growing to be a big artist.
Ripfa zvichiritakaza ngauri ndiona richikona kuona mbuyero ndiumbura ovyari vudza zvoro ovyarambiwa kazibadira chimwe chasibukeni ochikaitwa renovations ochikotodeya vathu vana teori vaole kadzimbondo vadhirowere varwadze ova mumwe wavo vevanangiwa uri vaive vodhirowa izvo zvino zvikosumbedza uri at least community nayona ikogaina knowledge inayava nayo.
You know, the ideas, you know, bouncing ideas and whatnot. So Rendani had been talking about putting together an ensemble. You had the creatives, you know, from photography to videographers to the other designers and illustrators as well and writers, which seemed too big a project, at the time. And obviously, I jumped that opportunity. You know, so she decided, I'm going to call this project 30 days in the city. It culminated in an exhibition, which I was very happy to be part of. So Padyame Aguri videography, because I do that as well. And I edited, I put it together as a project, and that was my submission to her, and hence my part of the collaboration for the bigger project.
When we were doing 30 days in the city, I decided to concentrate on transport, and public transport in particular, taxis.
It's like a diagram of a taxi. The front seat is the nice seat, the back seat, performance like mouse squeezer.
So back seat is an unfortunate seat, I think.
Like that kind of stuff, irrelevant. Like you're in a taxi every day, and she takes it and puts it in a picture, and you're like, yeah, I can't see that too. Yeah, so I like that kind of stuff.
And they understand what it is that I've shown to them, what I've given to them, then that for me in itself is a reward. Like if you see your billboard, your name is not going to be on the billboard, but you're going to be on some, okay, I did that, I put that together, I'm so proud of myself. Now I get to have 10 million people on the highway seeing my work every day. So it's those kinds of things that make you feel like you're being rewarded.
No, Takara Musi Achko graduate apa guest speaker or Achko Mogu sorry. I koso woto nangirwanga vo baby kana woto dinangira na. Arndoto dinangera. Zvatakadza guest speaker namnandori. Kanje ne va baby rinangera vana zvithu uri vazviite mara waona vazviita vazvipedza mara asichatevera budo lelo. Wava uri uwestera mwana chipinga.
I can't tell her to work harder. She's already working so hard. I just feel like we need to tell her that she's doing a great job and everything will succeed. So she should just keep doing it.
Basically. So basically it's an experiment on my end to see how much longevity my work can have in the street. And I'm looking forward to it. I experimenting street art because it fascinates me, you know. If this experiment works, then I'm going to continue doing more of this. So this is Sharp Lee Mtinkulu. He does what I do. He's an illustrator, graphic designer as well, and he's also a street artist, if I can say that. So he's going to be helping me today to put up the work because he's done it before. So he's the reliable expert here. And
I wouldn't say expert.
But you've done it before, so that makes you an expert of sorts. So zinorekoyaka printer, reko printer mshumo, and then rechipedza rodotoma paste up the work. We got permission, so that's going to be really cool for us. That's the best part, is that we're going to take our time.
It's not like 2 o'clock in the morning.
No cops to watch for, you know? So yeah, we're good to go. If you can to put up our street art, and no one permission cards, the building owner would end up with it's fine, we can go ahead and put our work up on their wall. And excited, and I'm just looking forward to the whole experience of putting it out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And then you mix it through, so utima iwoma inamatele on the wall.
Remotamera ore abe achko tamba role kulwane ka designing or akono influence abamwe bana nabone bayijoine ngara abantu babanje bathu banoko participate ka graphic design baneba baba bathu bathu ezi ene ngaru ungomi angakono batutuweza abasumbeza ore important ngandira ipiyo.
Yeah, this one's not going to stick. Let's try stick on your ones up.
Anyami, haneti, eno udiba anatsangalelo lori at the end of the day, did succeed. Rendini muthu ane akona wa justa caprese. Ndi muthu ane tshiṅwe tshifhinga u a kona u sa eḓela a tshi khou ṱoḓa u phesua goal ine a vha nayo.
So uzomele ukuthi si-relocate ngoba this wall inama-grooves too much and the prints aren't sticking on. So we need to find like a smoother wall khona zizonamathela kahle. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Heartbroken.
I see you, Mara. Hey, all in a day's work.
It's already happening, but I feel like we'll see more of her in mainstream media. I curate her some big shows. Her work being put up in noticeable places, in magazines, getting the exposure that she deserves and possibly internationally renowned, which is very possible actually, yeah.
This is pretty, I'm very proud of you. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. Bye. This wall loves us and we love it back because Mshumo Washuko number there onto the wall. So that's really going great. Now I'm happy. I'm feeling Joburgmyhomeburg, I'm feeling 30 days in the city, I'm feeling Miss Blacdropp, I'm feeling the juice, I'm the one, I'm feeling good. Yeah, it's happening. I'm proud of us, this is nice.
It's very cool.
For a first-time job. Thanks for helping out.
I would like to see her akula and expand. And I think with her tenacity and drive, Rendani is already on the way up there. Pace Leah Famaguyona at the moment, whatever drives her, I think is also like Africa at the very top of the creative industry in this country.
Ni twani kuriseka swinene. Ni vona ku wa hi kurisa tanihi na loko hi ri vatswari va yena. A nga kurisi mina na papa yena loko hi ri vambirhi kambe hinkwavo ka Nemakhavhani u yi veka a henhla.
And because of that, I'm doing it and I can do more, you know, and I can push myself into like an even bigger direction even, you know. I want to be international. I'm going to be international at some point in my life. And just being the best, you know, and just being a very good representation of black girls in the country, black girls in design.